Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a lot of up and down with COD recently over the holiday break. It seems like we got a little bit of good news, quite a bit of bad news mixed in there as well. But we just got some very surprising leaks and rumors for the future of Black Ops 7 and Warzone. Obviously, a big thing going into the post-launch content season for Black Ops 7 and Warzone this year was the start of it, was Season 1, as Call of Duty was going through and heavily marketing that Season 1 was going to be the biggest season of all time for Call of Duty. And objectively, it was, in terms of the sheer amount of content that we ended up getting within this update itself across multiplayer, in-game, zombies, Warzone, obviously with even more to come here with Season 1 Reloaded and throughout the remaining few weeks of the season as well. But what if the biggest season in Call of Duty history isn't even going to be the biggest season for Black Ops 7 and for Warzone? Well, that's what known leaker and insider, Ghost of Hope, is currently saying. Hope tweeted this over the past weekend saying, take this with a grain of salt, as always with leaks and rumors. Nothing is official until Call of Duty or Activision or someone there says something outright. This is just a leak. This is just a rumor for now, but take this with a grain of salt for now. But I'm hearing that Season 2 of Black Ops 7 may be even bigger than Season 1 was. And that is incredibly surprising, but also very encouraging, and Hope will detail some of what to expect with certain content here that we'll get into here momentarily. But I do think that is very noteworthy because not only, as I just mentioned, did they market Season 1 as just being this massive season in terms of content, and we got quite a bit of content this season, which is definitely needed for sure to, you know, keep retention and keep the game feeling fresh as we get into the remainder of the year. But we also heard way back before Black Ops 7 launched that basically Treyarch was not going to leave any stone unturned. They were just going to throw the kitchen sink at everything, you know, go all in with everything that they're doing with Black Ops 7 because there's no real point in saving anything. In years past, you know, looking at MW2 to MW3 or BO6 to BO7, they've actually, or even MW3 to BO6 for what it's worth as well, as we later discovered, there was stuff mid-year where if a map was going to come out for Season 3 but they didn't really feel like the vibes were there, or they didn't really need to release it for whatever reason, whatever their you know, reasoning was there, they ended up saving that content for the next game. So maybe towards the end of MW2 they saved a map for MW3 Season 1, or we saw that in MW3 they were saving maps from Season 5 and Season 6 and keeping those for Black Ops 6. So then presumably a lot of what you know, Black Ops 6 lacked, they were just saving for Black Ops 7 instead. Annoying for us as consumers that they're just withholding content for the next $70 game, but that's not the case this year because obviously, at the end of Black Ops 7, we're seeing a hard reset. We're seeing the new engine upgrade and the new engine shift with Modern Warfare 4. So they're not going to be saving content, and they're not going to be saving maps or weapons from Black Ops 7 to just drop an MW4. Also, different studios there for what it's worth. So to hear that they're going to be going even bigger with Season 2 is promising and pleasantly surprising, in my opinion. But let's talk details here. What can we expect with Season 2 and even a little bit beyond that as well, according to what Hope's been hearing from his sources so far? He gets asked, I figured since Avalon is supposed to be released then, right? And currently, Blackout and Avalon is scheduled for Season 2 Reloaded based on the Ghost of Hope and their wording in the blog that they did. Charlie Intel's also reported that Avalon and Blackout is going to be for Season 2 as well. So that in and of itself would make for a pretty significant update on the Warzone side of things. A new map rolling in potentially for Battle Royale. We're still not really sure on that. We'll talk more on that momentarily. But then also full-on Blackout experience. We know Rebirth with Snow is coming as well then around that time. And then that's just the Warzone stuff. For it to be an even bigger season, it's going to require even more in zombies and even more in multiplayer, which is certainly good to hear. But for what it's worth, with big map rotation there, the concept of Avalon and Verdansk, you know, switching back and forth, they still have yet to say that this is an official thing. Now, it's certainly a theory that's going around because you have to look at it like this. Come Season 2, if that's when Blackout ends up launching on Avalon, we're going to have Battle Royale on Verdansk. We're going to have Blackout on Avalon. Now, if you're a Warzone player and you plan on playing both of those modes, you're going to have Verdansk installed. You're going to have Avalon installed. Previously, they said there's not the tech that's capable of supporting big map rotation. It's just not a thing on this gen, and that's why we need to go to MW4, so maybe we could have that in the next iteration of Warzone. But if we're gonna have both of those maps installed, what's keeping them from rotating them? Or at some point, also just adding Avalon to battle royale instead of just being a blackout experience like what it's going to launch as. So that's going to be an interesting thing to keep an eye on going forward. Obviously, as we get any new leaks and rumors potentially on that or anything else going on in COD, you guys know this is the place to be to stay up to date with everything. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. And while we're going through some of these surprise update details, if you enjoy the video, do me a favor, drop a like. It's always seriously appreciated, and it really does help grow the channel, and share the video around. Next up, Lunchtime ends up asking, can we please get high with Omni movement? I would never go outside again. Obviously, get high, the parkour LTM that we had in MW3. Apparently, just because it went over so well, it's going to be something that is supported long term here. And Hope says coming on 420, I think. So it's possible that in April here, we could end up seeing get high debut in a Black Ops title here, and we could have Omni movement parkour, which I think honestly could flow pretty well. Hope was also asked, do you think season 2 will include Mars survival, Nuketown survival, and a new map, possibly Nuketown in season 2 reloaded? And to this, Hope responds and says it's probably going to be Mars survival and Alpha Omega remake in season 2, and then Nuketown zombies survival in season 3, so they can skip that season since 5 maps and 6 seasons, unless things end up getting changed to 5 seasons. So trying to stick with basically 1 new map for zombies per season, depending on how the year goes and how things end up going with the timing here, to really know if we're going to have a full season 5 and season 6, or maybe an extended season 5 towards the end of the year. I have to imagine that might have to do a little bit more with retention through early summer as they're making those decisions there. And maybe season 5 is just packed with even more content, and then that's the new biggest season in history, right? Because they end up merging season 5 and season 6 if things go down that route. But as far as zombies content goes, this does seem pretty promising for content there. So again, sticking with the biggest season ever, this is one-upping that. And then another response to Hope here, the budget's demise has been postponed, and Hope says anything till season 3 and season 4 is safe, just because they've been done for a while now. So there's also previous reports, if you've been around the channel, been active here since BO7 dropped, that there are worries about potential budget cuts for late in the year, you know, season 5, season 6 potentially not getting the full support, which I think would be weird considering, again, what are they saving anything for? Why not go all in on the end of this game? Because nothing's going to be carrying over anyways, or transferring over, or being able to be saved here. So why not just get it all out there anyways? But if that's the case, again, would kind of line up with maybe them merging season 5 and season 6 down the road. But as far as like major content goes, plans through season 1, 2, 3, 4 all seem to be basically set in stone. And if it's going to be larger and larger here as it seems as time goes on, that's certainly good news there. We know endgame updates will be continuing at least through season 3. The devs have already confirmed, and then they're going to gauge community interest, and if the game mode is still doing really well, then they're going to make more updates for endgame for season 4, season 5, beyond that potentially as well. So certainly quite a few things we're going to have to keep an eye on, but some surprising news here that season 2 could be even bigger than our previous season 1 content drop, which certainly could be very good for Black Ops 7 across the board. Doesn't matter if you're a Warzone fan, if you're a multiplayer fan, a zombies fan, or you like all of it, you're going to be getting some significant content drops across the board and throughout the season, it would seem. Obviously, we're still a little ways out from season 2. That should be kicking off in early February. So we're going to get even more leaks and rumors post season 1 reloaded and everything like that. We'll have plenty to discuss in regards to season 2 here in the not too distant future. So if you want to make sure you're up to date with that alongside everything else going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and drop a like on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.